Hey, what's up, everybody? I get a kick out of hearing people say, "Oh, I'm I'm a fiscal conservative and a social liberal." And you hear people say that. Most people say this, okay? Like so they just throw this out there like it's some kind of badge of honor or something like that. I think a lot of people when they say it, they really don't know what they're talking about. They might know about the social liberal part or the social conservative part. I happen to be a fiscal liberal and a social conservative because, like, I'm conservative on social issues. I don't go along with all this woke bullshit. I believe in traditional values and stuff like that. But I'm a fiscal liberal because I understand that the government, if the government's going to impose taxes on me, then the government has to spend dollars into the economy if dollars are the only acceptable means to settle tax liabilities. And I also understand that, we like things like a strong military and infrastructure and healthcare and education and basic science and research. I mean, those are things I think that we should have the government do, and it requires expenditure on the part of the government. The private sector delivers the goods. The government has the money. But let me go back to this: the people. The funny thing I find is that there's a lot of liberals who say, "I'm a social liberal, but I'm a fiscal conservative," and they don't understand that by fiscal conservative, that would mean severely restricting the spending of the federal government. So you would have a situation where there's going to be taxes imposed. There's not going to be a supply of dollars in the economy for everyone to be able to pay their taxes. It's going to end up as very high levels of unemployment, a kind of a weak or contracting economy. They just go around saying this shit, and some of these people are very highly educated, they're very highly placed, but it's like, this has become like a slogan, all right? By the way, I'll tell you something, like me being a fiscal liberal and a social conservative, that was actually mocked by Alec Baldwin on a Saturday Night Live episode several, years ago. I remember for some reason catching that. I don't know if I don't watch Saturday Night Live, but maybe I saw it on a video clip. Like, he said that sarcastically as if to say, this is some kind of ridiculous unicorn or something like that, that it's just an absurdity, to no end. But that's what I am. I'm a social conservative and a fiscal liberal. And again, I get a kick out of people who go around saying, everybody goes around saying, like presenting themselves as if they're really educated and they're really smart and they really understand this stuff and they're a serious person. I'm a fiscal conservative and a social liberal. So the social part, they go with all the woke bullshit and the craziness and all this kind of, lack of any kind of I think, acceptable norms. And then, but I'm a fiscal liberal, I'm a fiscal conservative. Like, yeah, the government's spending too much of my money. Let me tell you something, and I've said this before. That is not your money. It's the government's money. You may be good, you go out and you sell your labor or you sell your output, or if you're a capitalist, you own the means of, producing that output. So you're still getting that money, just maybe not directly. You have capital that brings that money to you. It's not your money. It's the government's money. What is yours is your labor, is your productivity. Those things are yours. You control those things. The money has to be put there by the government. You might be very good and very skilled at going out and getting that money. And my hat's off to you if that's you. That's fantastic. Some of us are better than others. Some are really, really good. Guys like Elon Musk, obviously. That's not your money. Those dollars are government dollars. So all these people walking around saying, and there might, within that group, there might be some actual people who really understand, and they are social liberals and fiscal conservatives. That's great. I'm happy for them that they understand. But most people just go around saying that stupid shit, not even understanding what it means. They understand the social liberal part and they may be really into that. But the irony is that if they're really fiscally conservative, that socially liberal stuff that they're for, the progressive stuff, the government should take care of everybody and stuff like that, and free health care, that's not going to happen, okay? So they're espousing something, they're standing on a point of view that is not even in line with their core beliefs of being a social liberal. So whenever I hear that, I just roll my eyes because I know that people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And they go around saying that because everybody else says that, all right? That's another thing. Like if you hear everybody else saying it, oh, it must be true. It must be right. So I better say the same thing. I'm a social liberal and I'm a fiscal conservative. I'm not. I'm a fiscal liberal and a social conservative. And I think that's a good way to be. I think that's a correct way to be. Maybe you don't agree with me on the socially conservative part. That's fine. Okay, we could have an argument about that. But the fiscal conservatism, I mean, you don't know what you're talking about. Shut down the government's ability to supply money into the economy while at the same time the government is demanding that you pay taxes. Where do you think that's going? That's going into massive, massive unemployment, all right? You talk about, the funny thing is, like people out there, oh, I'm against socialism, I'm against communism. That's communism, basically. That's what that is. That's the government ending up owning all the means of production because nobody could pay their taxes. That's basically what it is. So keep doing it, folks. Keep going around saying stupid stuff like I'm a social liberal and a fiscal conservative. You don't know what you're talking about, okay? Bye.